Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Play on GA with me, Seamus Brady, host, and for this one I'm delighted to be joined once again by Matthew Hurley, the GA Statsman, and we are going to do an in-depth dive into Kilkenny winning their fourth Leinster Hurling Title in a row. But my God, Matthew, did they leave it late? Kilkenny-4-21, Galway-2-26 in Croke Park. Cillian Buckley with the last shot of the game snatches the Leinster title for Kilkenny, and they are Leinster champions for the fourth year in a row. But Galway surely are sitting in the dressing room thinking, how the hell did we lose that game?
Exactly. So, and I was just seeing before we went on air, Henry Shefflin, his quotes on RT, he was saying that the players have the right to feel sorry for themselves because it's rare that they lose a game like that. And what a game to lose it. And I think you were at the game, Seamus, and you mentioned to me off air as well. The amount of times that about 4 or 5 players, or maybe even 6, had a chance to pick up the ball and they didn't. And then Pádraig Mannion loses his hurling and kicks it in the one spot that you shouldn't do as a defender. Straight to, and as well, so ironic, it's Cillian Buckley, a defender himself, who doesn't score that often. I think that's his first championship goal in history. I'd have to look that up again, but
what a stat that would be.
Jesus, like that.
You're right though. I'd never seen, because for anyone who didn't see the story that I put up on Instagram, I was sitting in the Davin premium section, slightly over to the left. I was literally just in front of the corner where all this madness was happening, and I'd never seen so many world-class hurlers not being able to pick up the ball. Like Joseph Cooney had a shot, couldn't get it up. Gerald McInerney had a shot, couldn't get it up. I think it was Walter Walsh, TJ Reid, both couldn't get it up. And it was just like all of a sudden John Donnelly manages to get it, just flicks it over his head blindly, doesn't even know where the ball is going. Whoever took Pádraig Mannion's hurl, congratulations. You're the reason why Kilkenny are Leinster champions, because if he has his hurl there, he chips that up and clears it. Instead, he kicks it straight out to Buckley. And look, a lot of people are saying good finish. He didn't hit the ball cleanly as well, and it still ended up in the bottom corner. And just absolute madness, because Galway had just gone 2 points in front. I thought, that's it. Surely they're going to win now. And talk about, the myth about the cats having 9 lives. Well, they sure as hell used up a good few of them there.
It is. And when you think about going into the game, my preview with Darragh Flynn from Doff Talks on during the week of my podcast, and we were both saying the injuries would be colossal to Kilkenny. Losing Adrian Mullen, it looked like they would do Mossy Keown. He played before Tyrone as a stub. He got a goal, but in the end he went off injured as well, and he's a goal getter for Kilkenny. Richie Reid didn't start, neither did Mikey Carey. That's a load of lads out for Kilkenny, and they were literally down to the bare bones, and they still won the game with a last minute puck. I honestly couldn't believe this. You couldn't honestly script it, Seamus. The amount of injuries they had, the amount of backs to the wall against them, and they go on and win it with a last puck of the game. It's just fairy tale stuff, really. And when you look at where they were in the first few minutes, like I know it was a level game at halftime, but Galway, I thought, were much better, especially in the first few minutes when they poked over. I think it was 7 points to 1 at one stage. Then they get that goal through Mossy Keown early on. And you think, okay, they're going to kick on now. Galway get the goal through, I think it was Conor Whelan that got the first half goal. And Galway didn't kick on. Walter Walsh gets a goal. And Walter Walsh, what a performance off the bench, scoring 1-2. And that's a way to, get Derek Lynn's attention to say, I'm going to start the next game now. I've got 1-2 today from play. That's all I'm going to say on this. And then Mikey Butler, to make this game even stranger, I didn't think Mikey Butler had that finish in him either. How? He's a cornerback, and he's usually up to marking the likes of Tony Kelly, and brilliantly, may I add. But I didn't know he had that in his locker. Fair play to him, to O'Loughlin Gaze, man. What a finish that was. But it was just a crazy game, Seamus, with so many storylines and so many unexpected moments. I absolutely loved it watching on TV.
Yeah, no, same here. And like it being in the stadium, like the atmosphere was crazy, and there was like just pure passion. Like, and a lot of criticism was thrown at the Leinster final last year. That final was certainly an antidote to that criticism, in my opinion. And you were right, Galway were on top in the first half. Like, they were the better side. Those 2 goals, though, for Kilkenny were crucial. They kept them in the game.
They did, definitely. And even the Mossy Keown goal, I think it was 7 points to 1 at that point, and he gets that goal. And it was a crucial goal for Kilkenny to get, and then they level it up with some very good shooting in the first half. They were at 100% shot efficiency, I think, at one stage in the first half. Then Conor Whelan gets the goal, and you think, okay, Galway are back up on the horse now. Walter Walsh gets the goal, and okay, it's level at half time. But then Kilkenny have a third quarter burst as well. Kilkenny were much better in the third quarter, with Mikey Butler getting that goal. John Donnelly was starting to come into form. TJ Reid was good as well. But it seemed as if Kilkenny kind of took their foot off the gas once Johnny Glynn got that goal. And then, I don't know what honestly, yeah. Oh, Jason Flynn. Why am I saying Johnny
Glynn? he was a bit busy playing a different sport this weekend.
But in general, James, I get confused between them two. I'm not sure why, but maybe they just have similar names. I'm not sure. Yeah. But Jason Flynn got that second goal, and Kilkenny kind of switched off. TJ Reid hits a free off the post, which he doesn't normally do. Kilkenny players weren't alert to that. Galway go up the other end and score. Then Galway go ahead through Evan Nyland's brilliant point taking. Brian Buchanan gets it to 2 points late on in the game, and I think late on in the game, that's it. Galway have the Leinster title. There's no more chance for Kilkenny to come back here. But then, as we mentioned before in this chat here, the goal happens, and yeah, it's a crazy game. But in general, like, one team bossed one period of the game, another bossed another. Then it was vice versa in a way. So it was a end-to-end game, and it was thoroughly enjoyable. And I couldn't imagine the scenes being at Seamus, even though it was, I think it was 24,000 at the stadium. So that was disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like attendance-wise, definitely could have been better. But you look at the atmosphere, like the atmosphere in the ground was really good, especially coming towards the end. But then on top of that, one thing that we do have to mention is the performance of Conor Whelan was just like outstanding. I mean, it was actually laughable at one point. Like, we were sitting there thinking, shoot, okay, how's he done that? How's he put the ball over from there? Like, it was surreal, the level that this guy's got to.
And I was just checking my stats there. I rechecked them. 100% shot accuracy for Conor Whelan as well.
Yeah.
Super. What a performance. And all from play as well. 1-6 from play. And to think, like, I don't know, did you see this afterwards, Seamus? But Jackie Turd before the game called Conor Whelan a one-trick pony. He was eating his words afterwards anyway. So he was definitely eating his words at halftime, and Joe Canning was definitely giving it to him at halftime.
Yeah, right. One-trick pony. Well, what's his one trick? He scores every time he touches the ball. The fella's fantastic. You can't call him a one-trick pony, like.
Yeah, especially after that performance. No, I think Jackie Turd was absolutely eating his words, and much like we was talking about junior football in Kilkenny when he was complaining about lack of hurling in Kerry and Tyrone as well. So Jackie Turd has not had the best year as an analyst this year for RT, but enough about him, more about Conor Whelan. What a showing from him. And maybe, like, all jokes aside about Jackie Turd, maybe there was a bit of frustration around Conor Whelan in a way. He's only scored 10 scores this year up until today, 5 goals and 5 points, even though it's 5 goals, which is impressive. So that's 6 goals and 11 points from play in this All-Ireland Championship, which is actually incredible when you think about it, not just today. So, like, it's a brilliant showing for Conor Whelan. But one thing I will say, I know he was deservedly man of the match. What a performance. He deserved man of the match despite Galway losing this. But I'll be questioning RT again. Why are you interviewing him afterwards? He's obviously going to be devastated afterwards. He looked like on the verge of crying afterwards. And RT, and your man from Central was actually smiling. And geez, it was just a pain to
you know, the game's the game. Absolutely getting hustled to just after losing.
Yeah, I think I wanted to be Damien O'Mara at that stage. To be honest, Seamus, it was it was pretty awful.
I'd kind of see why he'd be a little bit like, "Oh, get away from me, will you?" Like, just.
Man. It was poor. It was really poor from RT, but it was an incredible performance anyway from Conor Whelan. 1-6, 7 shots, 7 taken. What an incredible performance! And he definitely isn't, and I stress isn't, a one-trick pony. He's a brilliant hurler.
Without doubt, well said. And so both these sides now going forward. Kilkenny into the All-Ireland semi-finals, Galway into the quarter-finals now. What are we feeling for the rest of the season for these two teams, in your opinion? You did say in the Limerick in the Limerick Clare review. If you haven't seen that, check that out as well. But you did say in that video that you thought Kilkenny could be potentially contenders, but not Galway. What did you see in this season, really, in general, that makes you have that stance?
The Dublin game in particular, Seamus, because I stand by the point. I don't think Dublin are that good. I really don't think they're that good. And
no offense taken.
But even look at the league as well. Galway were very, very up and down. Like even in the Cork game in Salthill, Cork should have beat them by way more that time. Limerick I think Limerick played Galway at a point as well, and Limerick did a pretty good job on them as well. Clare were pretty competitive against them. Galway just weren't good in the league. They weren't good in the Leinster Championship either. They kind of got a lucky draw in the group game against Kilkenny, and maybe their decision making at the end of the games as well. Like that epitomised that we joke about, players not picking up the ball and Pádraig Mannion kicking in front of Cillian Buckley, but those sorts of things lose you All Irelands as well. Like it's just it's very, very stupendous in a way. And when you consider they're going to play in the quarterfinal, the winners of Offaly, Tipperary. No offense to Offaly, I'm going to offend another county, but no offense to Offaly here. But Tipperary are going to beat them more than likely, so they'll play Tipperary in the quarterfinal, which should be a cracker in its own right. But at this current stage, or honestly, Seamus, I would say Tipperary are front runners for that at this current stage to beat Galway. So when they have Jason Ford back fit as well, which should happen as well. So, like, what do you think yourself? Do you think Tipperary are front runners for that game against Galway? Well, of course, if they beat Offaly.
Probably. But then I also remember this time last year, Cork were tipped to beat Galway, and Galway went down and beat them. So I don't know. Galway had a habit of turning that around. If they can do it again, I'd be hugely impressed, because I think Tipperary are really, really good this year. And I was stunned at how bad they were in the game against Waterford. They definitely have a higher ceiling. They've reached a higher level, I think, this year than Galway have so far. Maybe a bit of a controversial thing to say, but I just think maybe Tipperary have hit a bit of a higher level in terms of their battle with Limerick, their victory over Clare, their game against Cork. Like, those games were just ridiculous. Like, the standard was unbelievable. So I probably would say if Tip hit their top level and Galway hit their top level, I probably would shade it to Tipperary as of right now. But like, look, again, Galway went down and beat Cork last year when everybody wrote them off. So you never know. But Kilkenny-wise, Leinster champions once again. Could they stop Limerick?
I said it in the last video as well, and I think they will. I think they definitely will. But just on a point on Tipperary and Galway in particular.
They will stop Limerick.
They could. I stress they could. But just before I go into that point, just a point on Galway for a minute on the Cork game last year. Cork hit, I don't know, I think they missed
a lot of goal chances, to be fair.
A lot of goal chances in that game. And Tipperary won't make the same mistake against Galway, I can assure you of that. So I think Tipperary should be Galway as of right now. I would agree with you on that. But Kilkenny, I think, look at Clare today. I think the difference between Kilkenny and Clare, in my opinion, is shot selection. Like Kilkenny today, I think they had a shot selection of 69%. Galway in general at 70%, which is pretty good. They had 100% at one stage in the first half, whereas Clare had nearly 50% today. I just think Kilkenny have a better shot selection. They have better forwards that can take on the right option. Owen Cody's a brilliant player. TJ Reid is very good from play. Billy Drennan's coming back to the team. Moxie Keone, if you get him back fit, he's a goal getter in the team as well. Pádraig Walsh came on, and this is in an injury crisis. So Kilkenny definitely have the numbers to deal with Limerick. And let's not forget, 2-26 last year in the All-Ireland final, which is an impressive tally. And they still lost the game, by the way, but that was an impressive tally. And they can reach those heights against Limerick. They've shown that before. Can they do it again? Oh, yeah, I think they can. I know it's a different manager in Derek Lee. I know he's been under pressure, but I just think they're still the same players. There's still some quality players in that Kilkenny. And as you said earlier on the show, they have 9 lives. They have a will to win as well. And I think Kilkenny will definitely put it up to Limerick. Will they beat them? As of right now, I'd say Limerick are better. But I think Kilkenny have the potential to beat them with the players they have, with the mentality they have, and with the historic relevance they have as well. I think Kilkenny could never be written off.
Completely agree. I think Kilkenny absolutely can beat this Limerick team. And if you think that they can't, please do me a favour and watch last year's All-Ireland Hurling Final again, because, you need to be refreshed if you think they can't compete with this Limerick team. This Limerick team is more tired than they were last year as well. So if Kilkenny can get back to that level, I think they'd have a great chance of beating them. But one thing is for sure, they are Leinster Hurling champions once again for the 4th year in a row, beating Galway with the last puck of the game in crazy scenes at Croke Park. Commiserations to Galway. Definitely left that one behind. But Kilkenny are Leinster Hurling champions for 2023. That's the video, guys, here on Play on GA. Until the next one, take care.